Good morning and welcome to our webinar on video marketing. A special welcome and thank you to our presenter today, Erik Bunaes. Erik is a constant contact partner and president at Endorphin Advisors. I am your moderator, Renee Goodnow from the New York Small Business Development Center. Our services are made possible by the U.S. Small Business Administration, the state of New York, and our host campuses. And with that, I will turn controls over to you, Erik.
Well, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm a longtime partner of Constant Contact, and I've taught, I guess, over 300 classes over the last close to 10 years. And I've also been in the digital marketing world for since 1995. And so I've been doing this a long time. And I think today's class is really going to be terrific because we've got some great research, we got some great tips, we've got some great sort of guides, and then we also have some really good free resources if you want to delve a little deeper into some of these things or try some tools we discuss. And then one last thing is I will also share a copy of these slides, so you don't have to try and write down everything. And there's some good links in here, like I said, to some of these resources. Anyway, so we all know that holidays are coming. You know, we got Halloween this week, we've got Thanksgiving next week, and then Christmas and New Year's and all that. And during this period of these upcoming 3 months, an enormous amount of sales are made. And especially in the retail world, it can be as much as 50 or 70% of your annual sales come from this 3-month period, and it's continuing to increase. So this is a really critical time of year. So I applaud you for being here today and sort of thinking about how am I going to plan to take advantage of this critical time period on the calendar coming up. And so that's really what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so again, it's going to increase. Sales are going to go up, online. So a couple of things to know is that sales are made digitally, right? We all know that. There's more and more shopping going on online. And so whether that's via emails, through special sales, talking about Black Friday, social media, things like that, these email drives sales. And it's really important to kind of get that right and have a plan. So we'll go over this plan with a nice guide for you to look at. So a couple of these kind of dates now, we've coming up at the end of the month in November and early December. It's kind of turned into a event bonanza right around Thanksgiving. So we want to keep those in mind. And those things are coming up quick, so we probably want to get a plan going. So here's kind of what we're going to talk about. So with any good marketing or promotional efforts, we want to figure out a goal and then an offer, right? And then we want to figure out a way to implement this with a simple kind of plan to plan ahead, get it done, and make sure we've kind of done all the things we can do to generate as many sales as possible. And then also we want to kind of delve a little deeper into video marketing or the use of video in your marketing and especially around this time of year. So a lot to go over today. So first thing with thinking about the holiday season is sort of what's your goal? Okay, so yeah, we want to drive sales, but from who? What kind of sales? What kind of offer are we going to put out there that people will react to? And then how are they going to actually buy it? So we've got to think about these things in advance. And obviously, the more we can automate and make the sale or anything else happen immediately online, the better. That's not to say that we want to eliminate other types of marketing, but especially in the digital realm, we will want to automate things as much as possible. Okay, so the type of offer you make is something to consider, to think about, to research. It's good to do a little looking around to kind of explore what are some of the other types of companies, either similar to mine or not so similar to mine. What are they doing to entice customers with something special? So, do they give a coupon or a discount for something, for making a purchase, for some type of discount off the normal price or service? Is there free shipping? Is it some sort of gift card or a gift with purchase? Is it some sort of exclusive content, especially for like service related businesses or B2B type businesses? Well, we really want to focus on the consumer focused stuff here, but that's some things to kind of look at, and so we want to make sure that we're keeping our eyes and ears open for good options here. And then the other thing to think about is to think about, not everybody is the same. And in many cases, we don't segment our potential audience enough and really speak directly to them. So, there are demographic characteristics of our audience, in terms of age or ethnic background, cultural background, where they live. The Northeast is very different from the Southeast or the Midwest or things like that. And then from even just a customer point, they're also different too, right? Is it your regular customers that you're kind of focusing on, or is it more seasonal customers, or they've perhaps bought from you once or twice or maybe never? And then obviously the brand new customer that has never purchased with you, then all these people again are different, right? So the more we can sort of figure out who exactly we want to target, and then figure out a type of offer that's going to be very enticing to those particular people, that's what we want to kind of put together. So it is important to kind of think through that process a little bit. Just throwing out kind of a 20% discount on your next purchase kind of thing to everybody, yeah, that's good, but what else can you do? You can think of something better. And the more you know your customers and what they need and how they act, is very important, and it will give you a lot of success if you can do this well. So let's think about it. What kind of offers specifically? So there's a few different types of offers. Obviously, I mentioned a discount, but there's obviously, buy one get one free, or buy, get free shipping, or get a download, or there's other things as well. There's events. There's hints, tips, guides, those kinds of things to help people do things, right? Whether it's save money or invest money from a financial advisor, to how-to tips, to do house renovations or things like that. So people are always looking for information, and that's where, you know, the internet and you know, digital things come in very handy. So something to consider. So let's go through a couple of real specific examples here in terms of, you know, types of discounts, types of downloads. And I'm going to go through this a little quickly because I have a lot of information to cover. But like I said, I'll send you these slides. But here, you know, some B2B services ideas. Again, hints and tips. You know, you guys are the experts in whatever your business is. So, you know, and people come to you for information and tips and guidance. And so, you know, now's a good time to create ways to give that to them. Okay. So let's talk about kind of a simple plan for our promotional event, or, you know, our promotional campaign. So, you know, one thing is first is, you know, our email list is critical, right? So, you know, email and social along with our website, those are absolutely foundational pieces of any marketing, any company, right? So, you know, we'll talk a little bit about email first. Again, you know, thinking about what do you want to happen, and then how can you offer something, and then you know, we'll talk a little bit about how you measure the success of campaigns. But we want to reach them with email, and then think about, you know, the most important thing is here, we want to get people to react or act right away. And so we want to think about our campaigns as sort of pushing some content out from our organization, right? So, you know, pushing it out via email, pushing it out via social media, pushing it out via potentially, you know, digital ads, that kind of thing. So, or other types of advertising, right? So we want to push things out, messages and advertising and that kind of thing. And then we want to make them do something. We want to make them, you know, effect the purchase that we want to happen, right? So whether it's to, you know, get them to sign up, get them to download, get them to buy something, you know, whatever it is, we want to get them to do it right then and there. Okay, so you know, especially when it comes to like coupons or things like that, just putting them in a social ad, or just putting them in a email or on your website or anything like that, if you just give them an ad that they have to like print out or take to their store or something like that, that just will not guarantee you much sales, right? Because they're going to forget. We want to get them right now. So, you know, if you can give them the discount, but then give them the way to make the purchase so that you get the money right now, that's what you want to have happen, right? And that's just e-commerce stuff. But but this is kind of important to think about, right? So a couple of tips here. So in email, we want to make the subject lines, you know, clear, compelling, and all that, right? We'll make it super easy for people to see some options, right? And then, you know, use images, because images are much more powerful than words, and then make it real easy for them to just click right on there and buy it, you know, right then and there. And if they can get a discount on something or use a promo code or things like that, then, you know, all the better. And that'll help you. Make it engaging. We're going to talk a little bit more about video today, but as you can see, you know, video increases click-through rates by, you know, 300%. There's a lot of evidence that shows the power of video, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But we got to grab people and make it engaging, because if it's just, your typical sales stuff or, that kind of thing, then, people are just bombarded with messages, and we all know that. So, we got to grab their attention quickly and make it happen, or it won't happen. Make it shareable, right? So if we can, get people to somehow be excited about it, and then, share this, with other people, and get it onto social media in any and all ways, that's certainly what we want to do, right? And then obviously make everything, all your tools, completely mobile friendly, right? And we're talking mostly about email here, but again, most emails are looked at via mobile phone, and so it's got to be fully mobile friendly. So you want to make sure in whatever offer you provide that's there. So we want to keep it really simple, right? This is good advice for so many things. Include, if you're going to send an email, include a picture, a quick paragraph of kind of what it is, and then some call to action. Get it now with a 20% discount, or buy it before November 3rd, and you'll get a discount, or free shipping, or you'll get a buy one get one free, or whatever it is. So depending on whether this is via email, on your website, social media, and an ad, whatever it is, the real compelling picture, some information, maybe with a link to somewhere, and then the call to action to get people to buy now, take action, and that's really something we want to think about. All right, so I'm going to give you a couple of really good suggestions in terms of kind of helping you plan your promotional efforts here. So, like, here's a 3 email set of promotional emails that you can send out. So, thinking about sort of, okay, don't forget your furry family members, and then time's running out, and then sale ends tomorrow, right? So you're really setting up this deadline, right? And then sort of promoting everything along that deadline, and making sure that you get people to act. Okay. So again, thinking about email, again, we want to get those into social media and start to think about how can we benefit from the social media, whether it's just organic social, whether it's paid social ads, whatever it is, we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of that. So for a specific campaign, here's kind of a 3-post set that you can use, again, to kind of say, here's an offer, here's a little reminder here, and then here's the last chance, get it now before the deal's done. So there's a very good record of performance when you use a series of 3 or more like this, so that you try and get people's attention. With the second, they may not move first, but they'll kind of remember that, get them into the second post or the second email, and they're like, oh yeah, I saw that first one, but then they're still too busy or doing other things, and then they get that last chance reminder, and that really makes the difference. And so this is a really good tip, I think, in terms of sort of strategizing how you're going to promote your offer. Here's kind of a sample calendar that's showing this plan in terms of the 3 posts, the 3 emails, and the holidays and planning and all that. So again, we're all busy running our business and or doing lots of things, and so to have a plan like this is very beneficial, I think. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about video. So, why do we want to talk about video? What's so special about it? What do you want to say in your video? There's three different types of videos I want you to think about in terms of just the mechanics of creating the videos. And then, once you have your videos, how are you going to use those? So we'll talk about all those things today. So some of the statistics are particularly compelling in terms of people that use video and what happens in very specific situations. So looking at companies' overall growth, companies that use video grow 49% faster from one year to the next than those that do not use video. So that's really one of the most compelling arguments for video right there. If you want faster growth in your business, then use video. So, the next one is 90% of customers find video helpful in the decision-making process. So basically everyone, right? Video drives a lot of traffic, it drives shares, meaning, people share it. You get a lot more click-throughs on an email when you include video, because again, people, are often more compelled by video because it's just a better form of communication than the written word, right? And so including a video on a landing page can increase conversions by 80%. And again, it makes sense because people are getting more of a context, more of a story, more of an emotional response to what you're saying in video, so that then people take action, right? And that's what we want. So they convert somehow, they click through to learn more, they make a purchase, obviously. Those are all things that happen when video is used. Okay, so what do you say in videos? Okay, you say, I'm convinced I need to do some videos. What am I going to say? Right? And some of the stuff can be quite basic, just in terms of introducing your company and kind of branding it a little bit. Who are you? Who are the people behind your company? Whether you're a very small business or a much larger business, the people generally want to deal with people that they like and that they kind of reflect their values and image and all that kind of thing, right? So if you can sort of explain, hey, how did our company come to be, or what do we really focus on? Why do we like serving our customers? Things like that, very compelling. And then case studies, especially for more like service-based businesses, right? Is write a story of how you and your services helped one of your clients. And it's very powerful for people to see how you're serving other customers. And then they can, if they can sort of relate to that person and their challenges and how you help them and all of that, then they can very well start to see their way to say, well, I feel like that person, I have the same needs, well, maybe this company can help me out, right? So case studies, and so those are often written documents and all that. But if you just tell the story of what happens in a short video, that's just as powerful. You can do product demos, right? Walk people through certain things on your website, or things that you've done with clients. Customer testimonials, again, similar to case studies, but very easy to generate. Explanation of services, like what do you really do, and why are you different from your competition? So explain your services. It's very likely that companies don't really know you or your services, right? If they've never heard of your company or something like that, they don't really know what you do and how you do it. So then there's special offers and that kind of thing. Again, thought leadership. Why do you why do you do what you do, kind of thing. And obviously industry news or just news in general. These are all things you can say in videos. So there's a lot of information that you have for any business that your customers don't have, right? That they're wanting to know. So there's a lot to say. So what kind of video are you going to produce? And so, most people think of oh, I'm going to hire a professional videographer and they're going to come in and take a day and, then am I going to get interviewed and who's going to be doing the interview and all this thing. And so, yeah, that's one type of video. And I really believe that every company, should have some sort of video that kind of helps brand them, right? Now, but that's not the only type of video we have. So there's live and social video, right? This is produced on your phone often, or it could be like a GoPro camera or even your computer. And then, think like, Facebook Live, right? Facebook Live is a tremendous tool that's free, that's available to everybody, and it's tremendously powerful. Facebook loves sharing those kinds of videos, so you get terrific exposure for zero cost. So that's another kind of video, live or social video, and that would include even like a cell phone shot testimonial from a client, that kind of thing. So that's good, right? Free. And then the third type is a very specific type. A content-driven video is kind of the name we've given it, but it's video made on your computer, not using a camera. Okay, so this is more like a silent commercial, right? So it's like video with maybe text on it and images on it and music maybe, and but it's not like a interview with a person, right? And it could be like an animated thing, or it could be from your computer. Just there's some free tips I'm going to show you in a minute. There's a company that's really awesome that does this called Lumen V. I'll show you in a minute. So this is really important. There's these three different kinds of videos, and they don't all take a lot of money. Video is very powerful. So obviously I'm trying to convince you to make video, and you can do it yourself. Okay, so it's really compelling stuff. So I just gave you three quick examples here of what we're kind of talking about, so you can just see and link and go, oh yeah, that's what he mentioned. Okay, so here's an example of one of the tools. This is one that I really like. Is called Lumen 5, and there is a free version, but you're going to have some Lumen 5 branding on your videos, right? But it's a really easy to use tool. It's super fun. There's no like coding or anything like that. So check that out. I've got a link to it, so you can just check it out, or just type in Lumen 5 and you'll find it. Then obviously there's a higher level of service for Lumen 5, where you can produce these incredibly slick videos, for a fee. I don't know anything about that. Anyway, so tips. Once you have your video, what do I do with it, right? So obviously you want put it on your website, maybe on your homepage, maybe on other pages, maybe as a blog article, maybe, who knows. Create a branded YouTube channel, right? Free, but Google owns YouTube. Google is hugely important in terms of search engine rankings, and people just watch YouTube. So it's a fully blown social channel that every business should be using, and it's free unless you do advertising, obviously. You can include your videos in promotional emails, and regular emails you send out. You can post to social media. You can feature digital advertising. There's all sorts of different ways to use your videos once you have them. It's not like a one and done thing. So you want to keep them around if you want. And these are some of the tips. So let's think about some next steps here in terms of what should I do next. So you've got your offer, you've got your schedule and plan. You want to think about automating as much of this process as possible. And so the dates are coming up. You want to do something. And so we might as well set up some automation to make some of this stuff work smoothly and capture as much data as we can. So set up a welcome message for people that join your email list or something like that. You can pre-schedule campaigns, whether it's via email, advertising, social media. In social media, I would really encourage you to use Hootsuite so that you can schedule out messages. Again, there's a free version of Hootsuite that you can use that allows you to schedule out some of your social messages, right? So they go out at the optimal time and you don't forget. You can create a series of automated emails, right? That go out either when people buy something or just after a certain date or whatever it is. You can automate some emails, okay? And you can even schedule posts via Constant Contact if you're a Constant Contact user. So that again, scheduling things in advance is going to be quite helpful. Then measuring. Marketing is all about measurement and knowing who your customer is. And so what you want to do is look after this time period, look at your success, look at what happened, not just by the sales, but how many people opened up our email list, how many people visited our website, and you look at your Google Analytics and you can see all this. And this, then you can learn what is beneficial for your audience. How does it work with your particular audience? Do they react to certain types of offers? Do they find you on certain social media channels versus other social media channels? How does that work? So how much did you get a good increase in traffic to your website in general? Which pages did people visit the most, and all of that? So you can look at the analytics and find out. Again, this is showing Constant Contact, and you can see exactly who opened your emails, when they opened them, what links they clicked on, and all sorts of amazing information is found. And that's kind of the science part or the analytic part of digital marketing. Is we've got all these great analytics, and we need to look at them and understand why they're important, and that will really help us, get smarter about what we're doing. Okay, so kind of a quick review here is, know your goal, figure out what do you want people to do, and then create an offer that's going to help you achieve your goal, right? A special offer or two or three, and then plan the timing or of your campaign in terms of what tools are you going to use, what are you how who's going to do what, Are you all set up to have people do things online fully that need to happen? And then also you think about your fulfillment. If you get an order, how does that, are you going to have to do shipping? Are you going to have to, schedule meetings? Are you going to have to, what are you going to have to do? And can you do it all? And then the one kind of overriding question is how can we use video in this strategy, right? How can we digitally get people to, know what we want them to do, to understand this great offer, to get them to, feel compelled to take some action at that time. So those are things that we really want to think about. So, you can do this. It's not rocket science. If you take this presentation and sort of follow through some of those tips and use some of the ideas in terms of, types of videos to create or types of content to create and that kind of thing. And, you can do it all. And all the tools I've given you are free or have at least a free version of them. So it won't cost you much money if you're a small business. And I really wish you all success in this holiday season. And looking forward to hearing how it all goes. So if you have any questions, please let me know. So I do have some resources and sort of updates and things like that for you. This will just take a minute, but I've got a great free ebook that you can grab. Just click that link and you'll be able to download that ebook. And it's really good. It just came out from Constant Contact, and it's talking about sort of making sense of online marketing. So if you're interested in that, you can just click that link and you'll download that book. I wanted to tell you about two really cool tools from Constant Contact that are absolutely free. So Constant Contact just launched a new custom logo maker. You don't even have to be a Constant Contact customer to use this. And it's really cool. And it's all artificial intelligence and engineered. So you just type in the name of your firm. It produces a whole bunch of different kind of advertise or logos, and then you can edit them and save them and all sorts of forms and all that sort of stuff and everything. And then it'll even show you what your logo will look like in the real world in a bunch of different scenarios. So if you see in the image below on the left, it's showing you what your image will look like on a t-shirt, on a tote bag, on a backpack, on a coaster, business card, etc. So you can kind of go, well, what is my new logo going to look like? So that's really cool. So I wanted to tell you about that. Totally free. There's no cost. And you do get the logo in two different files, as a PNG and a SVG form. So those can be further edited and all that sort of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Another thing is Constant Contact has now launched a free website builder. Well, there's a free version, but then there's a little bit more, but it's really cheap. And they've integrated with Unsplash, which is a great place to get images. So they've got over 500,000 free professional quality images that you can use. The website builder gives you online stores and e-commerce capabilities. There's website analytics built right in, free hosting for the website, blog capabilities, and it's fully mobilized. So again, it's totally free to create and publish it. And then if you want some additional, capabilities or whatever, then it goes up to the highest price is only $20 a month. So it's really a very cool tool, and they just launched it. So again, just trying to give you some free resources. Okay, sorry. If you would like to try Constant Contact, you can get a free account. And that's kind of it. I hope I covered everything and not too speedy and superficially, but we only have 45 minutes or so, so I made it quick.
Great,
Are there
Erik.
any
I
questions?
appreciate it. We have had quite a few questions coming in. I've answered a couple of them. A lot of folks were asking for the slide deck and for the recording. So I just wanted to
Yep.
let folks know that we will be sending that out in a follow-up email. It usually takes 1 to 2 business days for us to get that out. We had a great question come in about the logo maker and constant contact. Is it copyrighted to
Okay.
protect your logo from being used by others?
Absolutely. Yep. Of course. This is you create it, you own it.
Very cool. Very cool. We've gotten a lot of thank yous. That was great. We had a question come in too, how much it might cost to hire a professional video company to do a video for you. And I know it might depend on location and what exactly you're looking for, but wondering if you had any estimates on what that might cost.
Yeah, I mean, it depends sort of who you use, and if you get some videographers, because it's a very specialized thing, they can be quite expensive, but there are more and more sort of small businesses or independent videographers that do really good work. And so, I would think probably $2,000 is kind of a minimum for like pretty much a whole day shoot, plus
Okay,
perhaps,
that's good because I think I
yeah,
quoted
perhaps.
1,000 for about a half day, so I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Okay, yeah. So I think if you're not prepared to pay at least that, you're probably going to get into some, questionable quality, for somebody that is going to spend that much time with you. Um, I would consider paying at least 2 grand for this product.
Yeah, we actually
For
have
good.
someone on here who does some mobile video servicing for social media. It's called Quickcast, and they charge 500 for a half day, all inclusive. So if you're interested in that, you could check them out. That was Quickcast. And they do a lot of green screen stuff, which sounds really cool. So that's neat there. So I
Yep.
think it's definitely a great idea to get a contract from a videographer to see exactly what you're getting and if editing is included, and how much editing. If you're not super satisfied with the final product, how much they're going to charge for additional editing. And
Yeah.
quick cast
Absolutely.
is spelled
Yep.
quick and then cast, but I think there's a dash in between the quick and the cast. We just had that question on that. Sorry about that, Eric, to interrupt you.
No, that's all right.
We had a question come in about landing pages if you don't have an e-commerce website.
If you don't have an e-commerce website, so you would want to then, I guess, I mean, there's some free tools if that's what you're looking for. I'm not quite sure sort of the perspective of that question, but if you're looking for like a free tool to sort of help build a landing page and that kind of thing, there's a fantastic tool that we've used called Unbounce, UN bounce, which is just fantastic. And you build a landing page and you have a separate URL, and then you can link to that, and that can do all sorts of things. So, I think in most cases, you should be able to create some sort of landing page, and some sort of e-commerce function very quickly and easily. And if you don't, know how, or you want help or details or something like that, you can, give me a call or shoot me an email, and we can sort of guide you through that. But in today's day and age, everybody should have some sort of e-commerce capability. Um, so that's really important.
Eric, we just had a quick question on what the best contact information is for you for folks to follow up on questions.
Okay, well, we'll send that out. My very easy. Our website's at www.endorphinadvisors.com. We're very easy to find. And my email is Erik, E-R-I-K, at endorphinadvisors.com. And then if you have a phone number is 518-522-9917. You feel free to call if you have any questions or looking for some tips or resources, even to, free things or things like that. Happy to help.
We had another great question come in, Erik. If someone doesn't have the time or skills to implement the type of marketing plan discussed today, what are your suggestions for finding a professional who can help out?
Well, you can ask around depending on what area you are in. If you're, I would ask around for a reputable marketing firm and then interview some people and see what tell them what you're thinking about doing and get their feedback. Ask if they've done this before. There's a lot of there's lots of providers out there. You got to be a little careful, but and again, you can call me. I'm happy to. We do this stuff day in and day out. So I would be, we could help as well.
Exactly. One other great tip too is a lot of SBDC centers will keep a list of folks in the area that offer services either in social media, legal, insurance. They'll keep a list of people that have been suggested to them. So you could definitely ask your SBDC advisor if they have a suggestion on someone in your area. And if they don't, they could definitely reach out to me at our central office to look for someone in your area as well. We had another question. If you don't have a website, but you use an online marketplace for your products like Etsy.
Well, I would get a website. I've given you a free website building tool now with Constant Contact. You really, if you're going to be in business and you are going to, sell, if you're on Etsy, you're probably selling some sort of handcrafted something. And so, you want people to get to know your firm, your company, what you as an artist, why do you do what you do, tell your story, that's what people want to know about. So even if they're shopping on Etsy or any other marketplace, in many cases, they may go and find your company online somewhere, right? They're going to search your name and in Google, and they're going to come up with, hopefully your website and hopefully your social media channels, because you want to create customers that buy over and over again, right? That's how you grow a business. It is not always finding new customers, but finding customers that buy over and over again. So you need, and everybody searches on the web. We all know that. Think of your own behavior when you're buying something. And so having a website is absolutely critical to establishing that real entity in the world, right? And I'm saying that not from a legal perspective, but from I don't want to say branding perspective, because that perhaps gives the wrong connotation, but just the online representation of you and your company and what you do is made real by having a website and social media presence. Because again, almost everything we buy, except some commodity type products, people want to know who they're buying from. Who are these people? What is this company? All that kind of thing. And we've actually been doing a lot of research on social missions. And if you look at this research that is being done now, people want to buy from companies that do good. And this is fully apparent and comes out in all the research. So so people want to get to know you, and they want to know, do you do good things, right? If you're a bigger company, do you benefit society in other ways? Do you give back? Do you sponsor, things in your community, things like that? So by having a website, you can then tell that story, and that's really, really important. And the one other last point I will make about that is, if you're going to grow this company, you don't want to rely on other third party organizations for all your sales. So if Etsy all of a sudden goes kaput, or if they go bankrupt and go get closed down and all that, you don't want everything of your work tied up in that. So even with social media, you don't want to rely on Facebook or any other organization for all of your sales. So that the website is the only thing you own and truly control. So it's important to have a website, even as simple as something that you create in a free website tool.
Great, thank you, Eric. We've had some really good luck with some other tools too that are easy, some website builders. I know Squarespace has some, and Wix has some as well. And there's some really handy options, some drag and drop options like the constant contact option that are really easy to
Yeah,
use.
I love Wix. Wix it's Wix.com. They have a fantastic platform. We actually build a lot of websites for our clients in Wix, and we really like it. And they can do e-commerce, they can do email marketing, they can do even they have a whole CRM system now, a customer relationship management. I mean, you can run your whole business just on Wix. And it's, you don't need to know any programming or anything, and you have a really nice website.
Yeah,
So
I just
yeah,
sent folks out that link in the chat message for the
okay,
Wix.
great, great. Yeah,
I really like how they integrate with Google too. They have some really nice features. You definitely get
yep,
what you pay for in terms of the packages, so that's something to keep in mind too. I think with the free one, you have their branding on your website.
yep, yep, that's true. That's true.
I think that might
Very
have been the
good.
last question though, Eric. I really appreciate it. This has been a great webinar.
Well, I want to thank you for hosting this, and I wish everybody good luck and success in the upcoming holiday season, and we'll talk to you soon.